Aloha, good morning. It's Caron B Davis of Caron B Realty International, and I wanted to thank you for being here this morning. And we have Jim Schmit here. We have not spoken to you for a little bit, and I know you've been crazy last year. My God. And just this morning, I found happy anniversary, 50 years as an architect.
Wow. As my own firm.
As your own firm, congratulations.
I had several years before that when I worked for other people, which was disastrous.
Oh, okay. So it was a good move. But, today I wanted to talk about, I know there's a lot of people out there who've been thinking, should I buy? Should I sell? Do I remodel? Do I rebuild? And one of the aspects of that people don't think about is the time frame it takes to actually complete a project. I think you wake up sometimes in the morning and go, oh, I'm going to remodel my house, and then I'm going to have a nice new house by Christmas. Well, that's never been a reality, and it's certainly not a reality now, is it? So
you're lucky to have a permit by Christmas.
Correct. So I just wanted to bring to light to anybody who is thinking about remodeling, rebuilding, or even thinking about selling, or, do I do this improvement? What would my home be worth? And that's where we come in at Caron B Realty International. We let people know, if you certainly improve your home a certain way, what the property may be worth, or are you overbuilding for the area? But let's talk about the logistics, what it takes to get to that point. So I thought Jim could talk about where we're at with the building department and some of the new rules to be aware of, and some of the other aspects of building or remodeling right now. So why don't I hand it over to you?
Okay. Well, the rules that you have to worry about are the ones they haven't changed this week. The stuff that is already changed, that's already in force. Like, for instance, the shoreline setback was 40 feet for 50 years. Mm-hmm. And now it's 60 feet. So everybody who's on the ocean has lost the ability to utilize that 20 feet of their land in any way that requires any kind of change. And if it's grass, you can leave it grass. If it's dirt, you can plant grass. But if you want to put a tile down or stepping stones, only stepping stones would work because they're removable. But you can't do anything permanent. You can't make a lanai out there in that 20 feet of your lot that you have been using all this time as grass. So that's kind of a difficult one, but it only applies to people who are lucky enough to already own property that's on beachfront.
And you said something interesting that, you could be, a lot of people make slight little changes as we go along to build or remodel. And what Jim was saying is, if one of those changes isn't on the building permit, what happens?
Well, they can give you a notice of violation, which means you have to correct it, or they're going to start fining you. And if you don't make the appropriate attempts to correct the problem, they can prosecute you legally. So there's all kinds of bad news about that sort of thing. But the good news is that we've faced situations similar to this, not as drastic as it is now, but over the years. And I'm a confident person. I'm optimistic. I know that the people down at the building department are trying their best, and I've been dedicating myself to going down there and meeting with them for at least 6 months now, and I have hopes that this is going to be corrected. I doubt if it's going to be corrected the way they think it's going to be corrected, but that's just because I've got a lot more experience than they do. I've been going to the building department for 50 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of those guys haven't been going there more than a month.
Some of them haven't even been
born. Yeah, some of them weren't even born then.
Some haven't even been born.
Way too many of them.
And, I wanted to ask, apart from oceanfront, and somebody, wanting to do a bathroom renovation or kitchen renovation, could you give us an idea of timeframes on that one?
A year to 2 years.
A year to 2
years. To get your permit.
Yeah.
And it's getting worse.
Yep.
It's not getting better.
You were saying you have 14 jobs on hold right now, just waiting to go.
We have a wall of whiteboard.
Yeah.
Where we keep track of everything. We had to turn it over and start on the backside, and this is like 12 feet long and six feet high, and it handles a lot of information. and we ran out of room. So now we're starting over on the other side. And if you want to find out what happened 6 months ago, you have to turn the wall over so that you can see it. But we know that we're up to date at the starting point of January 1st, and everything we write on that board is current. And each of those projects that we have, when was it submitted? When was it accepted? When did the plan review take place? When did they send us out comments relating to their plan review? When did we return those comments? And typically it's like this. We submit the plans, 3 months later, we get it accepted. And then 3 months after that, we submit our drawings. And then 3 months after that, they look at our drawings and then they give it back. And a day later, we get it back to them. And it's, we found out that's really not productive. So we don't go for a 1-day return, but we get it back within a week or so of when we get their comments. And then they get back to us again 3 or 4 months later.
Wow, yeah. And sometimes it looks like gloom and doom, but I think one of the things I want to bring up is, make it a fun time when you're remodeling. I know when we did ours ended up being a rebuild, not a remodel, but it was fun. It was like, we went into Pinterest, we, pulled out magazines and pages of ideas we wanted and had fun with it. And of course, have the right people working with you who can always bring value every meeting. And I know when we worked with Jim personally, we would meet every week and talk about different ideas and what we'd seen that week. And then we'd start to fine tune all the ideas, because if you do have to wait this long for a building permit, have fun with it and do it right. You have the time to do it right when you think about it. So,
and one of the things that made it fun was we had Caron's dining table in the same spot that it was going to be in the new house as it was in the old house.
yes.
And that dining table almost always had some type of delicious little appetizer snacks.
He liked my appetizer.
And a glass of red wine. And it's way more fun discussing the view of your house and how things are changing and what color the floors are going to be when you're in a social situation.
Absolutely.
So that's
absolutely. And I must admit, a lot of my business now is relationship built after 35 years doing this,
right.
and enjoying the time with my clients and who've become very good friends as well.
That's right. I have a whole bunch of clients that I'm on their fifth house.
Fifth house. That says a lot.
If you do a new house and you've lived in it for 10 or 15 years, you're ready for a new one. And so they call me back and I do another one for them. And by this time, I already have all that groundwork has been done because most of what they like hasn't changed.
Yes.
And that's fun. It's very much fun. Like you said, it's a relationship.
Yeah. It's all about relationships. And I know, in your business and my business, the way we get the job done for a lot of our clients is always having goodwill with the people, like with my vendors and everything.
That's right.
And I know we've called you on many occasions when we've had a house in question structurally, or can we build a kitchen out to that property setback, etc. But it's having all these goodwill with vendors. It's just not about us. It's about the people who support us, who support our client a lot of times.
Yeah, that's right.
It really is. But anyway, thanks for, letting people have an awareness of what's going on.
You're running out of time?
Yes, we are.
Okay, let me just stick to my bottom line. Someone asked me when we were talking about doing this, I said, if you're going to be building a house, if you're going to be looking for a lot, now's the time to do it. I think that over the 50 years, I've seen it's always the right time now. And you regret it if you don't do it way more than anyone has ever regretted it because they did do it. I mean, I have one client who sold his house because he couldn't wait for the permit to modify it. But that's one out of maybe 50 at the time.
Exactly.
And that's a last resort, but everybody has their own circumstances. And I offered to help the people who bought his house because I'd already done a plan for it.
Yes.
But they just wanted to move in and they moved in.
Nice.
So now if they change their mind, I've already got a set of plans for them.
Perfect. Well, thank you. And like always, we always end on Marianne's photos, and let me just pop those up on the screen now. Just sharing the screen here. So yeah, very pretty. Hey, and what she is saying is, beauty is always around us, and Now, it's always important to remember the beauty that is around us. And this, of course, is soft in its color, is the orchid, which is so popular. It's considered one of the largest family of plants in the world. She always gives me a little bit of information. And let me go down to the next photo. And this is the Larsen albatross with their beautiful airbrush looking faces are back. They're back right now, probably with all the wetter weather, of course. And these soft pink tip bougainville are a lovely diversion from the typical bright colored variety we commonly see here in Hawaii. And our next photo she has here. And Marianne takes all these photos.
Wow,
It's very neat, isn't it? Look up, you might be lucky enough to see a cute little Japanese white-eyed hanging on a monkey pod bloom. So on that note, we'll finish, but gorgeous, huh?
Those are excellent.
Well,
Excellent.
Happy Super Bowling, everybody. This
That's right.
weekend.
It's coming.
It's a big weekend. And I've actually started to watch football. So yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it.
I'm rooting for Taylor Swift. So
am I. Anyway, much mahalo for joining us and have a fabulous weekend.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.